Hey everyone, welcome back. Another episode of Eyes on the Ball. This is episode 25. 25. I know it's been a little bit of time since the last episode. To be honest, since I knew the draft was finishing up, and also from last episode the draft didn't start yet, but it was gonna start. And not only that, but the trade season was gonna start as well. I kind of wanted to wait until Ja got traded basically to make a video, but I realized it was kind of taking some time, so I was like, "Fuck it, let me just like this week." I was like, "Fuck it, let me just record an episode this Wednesday. If it happens during the pod or whatever, then it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen." But literally just Monday, as I was going to the gym, let me tell you the story. Actually, I called my mom, or my mom calls me actually, because I had to let her know where I was because she thought I was gonna go home immediately for something else, right? And also, it's hot as shit where I'm at right now. It's 100 degrees right now, and it's not even the day it's supposed to be hot. Tomorrow and and Friday are supposed to be hot as shit. So I do have the AC on in the back. I know I usually don't record with the AC on, but I tried testing. I did some test records and it actually didn't pick it up. I'm hoping that that stays true when I go to edit this video. Because I'm not gonna lie, if I don't have the AC on, I might die in this bitch. So hopefully it doesn't pick it up. But yeah. Anyways, story. I was going to the gym. My mom called, told her where I was. Then I come in. So I switched to a new gym recently. So at my old gym, I used to be able to just screenshot the QR codes to scan in. So I had a screenshot of mine and my girlfriend's. So I did it for this one too. I took a screenshot of mine and my girlfriend's. And so while I was on the phone, I was showing it to the scanner. It didn't go through, so I had to open the app. And while I was trying to scan it, I kept getting notifications from Twitter, and I was like, it's probably just my tweets because they're getting a little bit of traction, whatever. But something in the back of my mind was like, this might be the trade. Like this could be a trade. This could be Sean. This could be the trade, like the job trade that I'm waiting for. And so, but I'm not like itching to open it yet. Notification. I'm still trying to get the QR code because it's some people behind me too waiting. There's another QR code scanner to the right of me too, so they can still use that one, or to the left of me, they can still use that one. But I want to be a little bit quicker. I'm getting a little anxious, right? So I go to the app, open it, scan it, and as I'm opening the app, I don't scan it yet actually. As I open the app, I see Chris Murray to the Grizzlies, and I was like, Chris Murray. That's the I recognize because I always remember. I know it's Keegan Murray. I know he has a twin, Chris Murray. I know he plays for the Blazers. So like that's what I connected to first. I was like, oh, that's the twin from the Blazers going to the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies? Is this what the fuck is this? So then I'm like, I think that's the jaw trade. Like it has to be the jaw trade. And so I swipe down before I even get the QR code because I'm not even like focusing yet on the QR code. I see like Ja has finally been traded, or I actually see the local reporter for the Grizzlies tweet about it first, and then I see the Psalms one that job was traded for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. And so I'll talk about it a little bit later. I'm gonna try to talk about the draft night. What went down on draft night, and then the trades and the transactions since then to today, which is July 1st, Wednesday. Um, but yeah, so crazy trade. Um, Glad that it happened. It had to happen, to be honest. But again, I'll speak on it a little bit more. But first, without uh, what the fuck is this? What's the quote, bro? Um, Whatever, bro. First thing we'll talk about the draft. So I got it here actually. I just have the first round. I don't have too much from the second round. There are some cool second round picks, like Isaiah Evans to the Timberwolves. Um, I think Malik Thomas also got traded or got drafted. I don't know what team. It might have been the Timberwolves too. I could be wrong. I don't remember exactly. But there were some cool second round pickups as well. But I'm talking about mainly the first round. Um, so first, AJ down in Boston or dive. The Banster. He used his first name, which was kind of cool actually. His first name was Anisette. I was like, oh, that's kind of dope. But that was really cool. I used his first name. Um, he went to the Wizards, drafted by the Wizards. Now, I think this is a great pick. Of course, it's a great pick. I think he has an upside to be huge, like really, really good. I think next to AD, if AD does stay with the Wizards, is also going to be really cool that he can just be there. I think that four next to the five is going to be awesome. I think Sar being a five is also awesome. So he kind of will start, and he won't really have too much competition at that four spot either, unless he plays the three. But regardless, he's obviously elite. I have some notes for some players. Again, I'm not too in depth with these rookies because I only recently just, not even recently, like I kind of like, I didn't do too much research on these guys prior. Um, I feel like I saw a lot of stuff in the timeline already, so I don't have too much stats. I just have a little bit of notes for some of the guys, not all the guys. But with AJ, he's extremely efficient at the rim, and he has a very good free throw rate percentage, which means he just gets a lot of free throws, or he'll get fouled a lot and get called for the fouls, or get free throws for the fouls, which is obviously like it makes sense. You know, he's a fucking freight train. I think he's like six. He's 6'9", moves like a fucking guard, extremely strong, crafty. I don't know his wingspan. I don't have it here, but I know he's like a +3 or 4, maybe even more wingspan. So yeah, I think he's gonna be obviously he's gonna be great. He's gonna fit really well with the Wizards. I kind of was hoping the Pacers got him, but I think he'll work well with the Wizards too next to Trey. Two, Utah Jazz got Darren Peterson. I think out of all the players that I've seen, he's one of those players where you look at him and you're like, how is this guy not already in the NBA? You know, because he plays with such an elite pace and such elite control that it's just hard to like kind of like imagine an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old is playing like this, because I think it's unheard of. Like most of the time you see a lot of these other guards, and even other guards that I'll mention on this list, they have that sort of like twitchiness to them, but it's kind of like at a burst that's kind of like uncontrollable or uncoordinated. But Darren Peterson just has elite body control. It's kind of crazy. I think that I think out of all the players in this draft, he's going to be the most NBA ready by like a country mile, to be honest. I think he's going to be, he might be the first rookie to average like over 18 points that I've seen, or maybe even 20. Who fucking knows? He's going to be great though. +5 wingspan, elite shot creator, and pace, and like I said, probably the most NBA ready prospect that I've ever seen in a while. Great that it happened for the Jazz. I think him next to Keontae George. If Keontae George's last season shit wasn't a fluke, they're gonna be in an insanely good backcourt. When his name got called for the Jazz, I got excited as fuck because I meant Cameron Boozer at 3 was coming to the Memphis Grizzlies. Again, match made in heaven, honestly, with Cameron Boozer. I think I tweeted about it like multiple times leading up to and stuff like that, and kind of like my idea on him. But I don't think there's a player more closely related to what it is that our front office represents, which is like that secretive, not very social, but tries to be professional kind of persona, and is professional and kind of like straight to the point, but kind of not straight to the point sometimes, but also knows how to word what it is they're saying without trying to come off as too either rude or kind of sour or too comical. Like they just know how to talk, right? Know how to say what they want to say. And I think Cameron Boozer is like genuinely like, again, like our front office personified in a player. Not only that, I think my notes on him, basically he's a supercomputer forward. Like the guys, like I don't want to compare him to Braun or compare him to like, you know, like some of his comparisons were like a souped up Kevin Love, which I can also see. I also don't want to compare him to Jokic, but he's a mismatch demon, like against a the 1 to 3, he's gonna have a mismatch because he's just so strong and agile with the post up. And then against the 4 and 5, he's just so strong and such an elite rebounder to where even if he does miss a shot, he's gonna have that potential to be a putback demon. And so not only that, but the main difference, like you kind of like I'll compare him straight to Jaren Jackson Jr. because I was a power forward we just had, but Cam Boozer has been getting doubled since like his fucking middle school years. He knows how to pass out of him though, which is what makes him so lethal at that position and what makes him so consistent at every single level. And what makes him a winning player. He knows how to pass, which is kind of just a subgenre of just being a very high IQ player. So again, he's a supercomputer. He's elite. I think he's literally good at everything. The advanced stats obviously love him. I think eye test you might feel a little bit, but then you see some other clips and you're like, wow, like I can see the why he's gonna be good. Honestly, I think anybody who's saying that he'll be mid or kind of like he's too slow for the league, I think you're crazy. Especially if you're a Grizzlies fan thinking that, like, brother, we literally drafted Edie and they said what they said about Edie, and look at Edie, like he's one of the best 10 center in the league when healthy, probably even like top 5 to be honest. But we'll see coming this next year too. But yeah, extremely excited with that pick. I cannot wait to see them play this weekend with Summer League. Oh my goodness, I'm geeking for it. But let me keep on going down. 4 Chicago Bulls got Caleb Wilson. Awesome, awesome, awesome pick. I think not even from like a rebuild perspective of like them going into a rebuild that lasts a couple years to like, compete for a championship, but also like from like the media perspective, having a super athlete back in Chicago is also super cool. We know Buzelis or Matas Buzelis is also a super athlete too. And I think them two together are gonna be like yin and yang with that 3 and 4 spots. They're gonna be fucking amazing. And not yin and yang just because they're black and white, but like they're gonna be insane together. And I genuinely cannot wait to see them play. Um, I think he's the most athletic player in the draft. Has the most upside in my opinion too. Just from like an offensive and a two-way perspective, I think he has all the tools to be good on both sides. I think the passing is one thing that can limit him. That's what I would say. Like Cam Boozer or even Darren Peterson might have above the rest of the guys, but I think Caleb Wilson upside is just like theoretical upside, like not like they're projected what they're projected to be, but I can see Caleb Wilson being like an like I know like his projection is also Kevin Garnett, but I feel like if he is Kevin Garnett like of this time, like that'd be fucking insane. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean again, theoretically, I think his upside is the highest out of all these guys, but it's gonna be awesome seeing him play. He's also a good two-way player too. Like the defensive stats are there for him as well. And Stick, I think again, great pickup for the Bulls. I love where they are right now. Next Clippers, they got Keaton Wagler. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this kind of surprised the fuck out of me. Not because that I don't think he fits or anything like that, or that he doesn't have the talent to be, but it's not who I thought they would draft. I didn't think they would draft the guard, to be honest, mainly because of Darius Garland. Um, not that they couldn't get like a shooting guard anyways or whatever, anything like that, but I was just surprised that that happened. Um, with some of the other moves that happened as well, you kind of see what position that they're in. And now I do understand why they chose Keen Wagler. I guess out of all of the guards left, I think he has the most potential to be the safest pick. Um, in terms of like health, in terms of ceiling on the offensive side of the court. Um, he's extremely crafty. He's extremely crafty at his size. A good handle, great shooter. Um, the only thing he has pretty low rim attempts and mid range attempts. Um, and a lot of it's because of his athleticism. But at the same time, like I'm not mad at it. I think it can still work out regardless. And yeah, again, good pick for them, honestly. Next, Next is the Brooklyn Nets. They took Mikal Brown Jr. Honestly, dope pick too. I'm we kind of knew this was gonna happen. I think we kind of were projected. He was projected to go to the Nets. I remember watching the draft and they were like geeked as fuck that he went to the Nets. Like the front Nets front office was geeked as shit. And obviously it's a big gamble because of his back injuries. But I think other than Darren Peterson, I think this and maybe the one under Mikal Brown Jr. too. But I think um this upside for this player is also really really high too. I think he's an extremely good 3 point shooter. Like his 3 point rate is above the fucking roof. I think he's gonna work really well with Dayron Sharp. They did let go of Nick's of Claxton, so they got one less screener. But regardless, I think it's gonna be really really good that he's there. I think he's gonna fit there really well under Jordy's offense as well. He's a taller player, again, very elite 3 point shooter. It's something that fits exactly how the new age of basketball and the new age of NBA is becoming. So I think it's super fucking cool. Let me see if I have something else. But yeah, like I said, it depends on his back injury. Like if his back injury is like a real thing, then this could be a terrible pick to be honest. But if it isn't, then I think this is a great way to kind of start off the or a great addition to their rebuild process. Um, the next team were the Kings. They drafted Darius Acuff Jr. Again, out of all of the players, especially the guards, I think this one he's weird because I really like him because I think it's hard to like act like he isn't a really good player offensively. Um, but yeah, sorry, kind of blacking out. But anyways, kind of hard to think that he won't be a good offensive player coming into the league. Um, it's just the defense, right? The defense is a very big problem. It's been like that for a while. We don't know if he's going to be a complete cone on defense because if he is, then I feel like it kind of cancels out what he can do on the other side. Not like a Luca, like unless he can like really just have his offense just switch to like the absolute supreme, then it could work out. But like you have to outweigh what you do on the offensive side with what you'll bleed on defense. My note on him was kind of basically like, hey, can you become the next Jalen Brunson? Because or as close as possible to Jalen Brunson. Because if you can, then you could probably win, right? But again, like that's like a huge if. But yeah, I think he's gonna be great. Great pickup for the Kings. I think it's something that puts fans into seats as well. So I think it's gonna be good hoops for them. Um, 10 or no 9 Morez Johnson. No, sorry. 8 Atlanta Hawks. They got Kingston Flemings. I really like Flemings. I wish I didn't. I was surprised that he went to the Hawks, but as time went on, I do understand. I think him as a PLA defender next to Jalen Johnson and Nikhil Alexander Walker is going to help them get to their original spot. Like before, especially Jalen Johnson as like kind of like this disruptor, this weak side defender who's going to be really just good at causing havoc. Same thing for Nikhil Alexander Walker. They're just going to be back to being disruptors. And so I think that's going to be super, super cool. With him being with Flemings being there. I also think on the offensive side, he's not really a 3 point shooter, but I think from videos I've seen and stuff like that, he seems very coachable. He's just a good dude overall. I'm excited to watch him hoop as well. But in transition, he's really, really good. And I think that's going to be something that you look forward to with Jalen Johnson as well, is that they're going to be super good on the transition. I can kind of see them being like a lob duo as well. So again, awesome pickup for them. I really like it. I think he's going to be really great on the defensive end as well. And it's going to be something, he's going to be really essential, I think, to that defense next year. 9 was Morez Johnson Jr. I don't really have too many. There's some guys I don't have notes of. There's a good portion of guys I don't have notes on. I just put out some notes for like the main guys that I was kind of familiar, a bit more familiar with. Morris Johnson Jr. I know he played for Michigan. Some draft boards had him actually lower than the other two Michigan guys. So for him to go that high, I know was kind of surprising to some people. I did see that kind of like when it came to advanced stats and stuff, though, like I mean, like he was mostly green, I think, on some things or most things compared to other players. Especially because of his age as well. So it was like I seen people say it was a surprising pick that he went up um so high, but of course I'm assuming as well like the Mavericks hiring the Michigan coach probably had some sway into it. I think I heard that the Michigan coach was basically saying like, hey, out of all of the players that play for that team, in in March Madness and stuff, or like the college team, Morris Johnson Jr. was the one who was always being vocal, always kind of in the locker room telling his guys to lock in and tee the fuck up. So again, maybe this was like a leadership plus talent kind of pick, but yeah, I mean they that's who they picked. Um, the Bucks at 10 picked Braden Burries. Again, I'm not too familiar with him. I think he's kind of like a complete guard overall. I don't really think he's. I didn't really see too many bad things on him. Golden State Warriors at 11 picked Yaxel Lendenborg, my Dominican brother. Um, he was basically like everybody was basically saying like, "Hey, this guy's fucking elite, but he's old as shit." So I put old but gold kind of thing. I know he's a two-way monster that can do it all, and I think he's gonna be really good next to Jimmy Butler. If Jimmy Butler comes back next season at all, and then also if Braun does sign with the Warriors, and Draymond Green if he comes back as well, I think again like those are like a squadron of wings that are gonna be bullying players who are um are smaller, and again it's gonna make Curry's life a whole lot easier as well. Um, 12. OKC got a day Mara. I'm not gonna lie, the fact that he fell that low was crazy. I honestly thought that he was gonna go to the Hawks, but now they got one of the best defensive bigs in the league, or one of the best defensive bigs from the draft, and already added to one of the best defensive big rotations in the league. So now I think we can totally see them running three big lineups as well. Just like defensive monsters, just like a hydra of just defense with those three. I know he can pass as well. He's not really a good scorer, but the passing is there, and he's gonna be elite at the rim. And OKC also got another pick that I'm gonna mention as well. But yeah, an extremely good rebounder, great passer. Still can't believe OKC got him. Who's next? Miami Heat at 13 got Nate Ament. Um, but they traded that to Milwaukee for the pick because they have Giannis obviously, which I'll get into as well. Nate Ament. Main thing I really heard about him was kind of the same thing with Keaton Walker, which is a athleticism thing. Um, he's really tall, really big in terms of like length, but not really like size or girth, basically. But um, yeah, they took him. Then Hornets drafted Hannes Steinbach at 14. I know he's an elite rebounder, 95th percentile offensive rebounder, and extremely efficient at the rim. Obviously, which another trade that just happened that I'll talk about with the LaMelo trade as well. I think it's clear that this team is kind of prioritizing possession battles, right? With Diabate and Kalkbrenner as well. Like these guys want to get offensive rebounders and be able to extend the possession for as long as possible and just beat the other guys up basically. So yeah, I think he's gonna fit there perfectly with that kind of game plan. Bulls start again at 15. They got Dalen Swain. Again, I don't know too much about him, but I know Kenny Beecham was excited, so I'm gonna say it's a good pick. Grizzlies. So at first we got Bennett Sturts, but then we traded it away to OKC. And at first, I was kind of surprised that we traded away to OKC of all teams. I don't have too much on Bennett search, but I kind of saw that he was kind of like Cam Spencer, but bigger, basically bigger and meaner. Um, OKC then got traded with Detroit for no, OKC got Okari. No, wait. So let me go down on it. Or let me go down on it. Let me remember exactly. So Grizzlies pick 16. They traded to OKC, sorry, who was 17. So we traded Sturts at 16 to 17 OKC. So OKC got Sturts. And then at 17, we picked Ubeka Okori, who I really wanted. So I was very, very excited. But then we traded with the Detroit Pistons. So Detroit actually has Ubeka or Okori. Um, I forgot. I keep forget. I kept reading it wrong, but in my notes, I said OKC when I meant the Pistons. But Okori is an half court monster. Unassisted numbers were just elite. I think he had. I think it was like NBA posted it as well. But basically, his unassisted numbers are just like godly, and that's going to be great for that team that lacks offense because he's going to be a player who's going to add on to that offense just immediately, straight from the jump. There's not going to be much kind of synergy needed for him to completely impact the offensive floor. So great pickup for them. I think he has like a +6 wingspan too, which is kind of nuts. Um, Only thing I would say, his assist numbers are pretty low, especially for a guard. So you do kind of look at, but it is interesting because again, like you look at him, he's gonna be next to Cade, right? So it's gonna be kind of cool to not have to worry about it too much. Um, but yeah, and he's not very turnover prone either though, so it works out well. Like he keeps the ball safe, so it's fine. Hornets at 18 got Christian Anderson. I think he was like a pretty good all around guard too. Raptors got Allen Graves, who again, like I don't have notes on him, but what I did hear was that he's basically the same guy that they drafted the past few drafts, which is just like a CMB type of forward who's 6'9" plus wingspan, scrappy offensive rebounder. Obviously they have a type. Spurs at 20 drafted Jaden Quaintance, and so like I said, OKC got a Daymara, and they got one of the best big rotation lineups in the league. This big rotation could genuinely be the best big rotation in the league defensively. Jaden Quaintance is an absolute monster on the defensive end, but it all depends on his health. If he's healthy, I think him and Wemby together genuinely unstoppable. I don't know how you score on them, to be honest. He has a high steal rate, high block rate. It's just he's a monster. But again, it depends on his health if he's gonna be able to be good or not. At 21, again, it goes back to us, the Grizzlies. We drafted Kareem Lopez. Now I had no idea who this was before the trade. Then I saw a clip, and it was a guy who I've actually seen a clip of before. It's a guy who we're talking about, like it's a parade inside my city. And that was just, and it reminded me that I seen this clip before, so it was funny as fuck for him to come back, and we ended up drafting him. But it makes sense too because I know that I think there were reports saying that we were interested in him. But yeah, I didn't know too much about his game. Saw some highlights. He kind of reminds me of Jaren, but like just much more dynamic. Like he seems like he can actually pass. He's a bruiser, very strong guy. He's also really young too. Just like Cameron Bruiser, which is a huge thing about Cameron Bruiser as well. He's the youngest in the draft. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he kind of looks like. People are saying he might be the Santi Aldama replacement. I don't think he moves as swiftly as Santi, or at least like coordination in terms of moving like cutting through the air, moving like a guard kind of thing. But I think he is going to be pretty good too. So I'm excited to see that. 22, Philadelphia 76ers drafted LeBaron Philon Jr. I cannot believe that he dropped this low, to be honest. Looking at it, like the Bulls could have had him. I think the Bucks could have had him. The Nets could have had him. Even the Nets picked. I mean, they picked a good player. Um, Hornets could have had him. I mean, the Pistons could even have. I don't know. I was surprised that he dropped that low. Obviously, some players were gonna drop this low just because this is a loaded draft. But yeah, him dropping that low is crazy. He's +6 relative true shooting percentage as a guard. High assist percentage, high mid range. 40% from three on damn near 10 attempts a game. And just, yeah, I think he's going to be a monster with VJ and Maxi. I mean, like him and Maxi alone, I think are going to be insane. So, yeah. Hawks at 23, draft Zuby. Again, I don't know too much about him. I think some people were kind of complaining that they didn't, some Hawks fans were complaining they didn't like that pick too much because he's like an undersized five. But yeah, then 24 Knicks, but then they traded with the Lakers for I think just cash. I don't remember. So the Lakers ended up picking Cameron Carr, which is obviously super awesome. He kind of reminds you of Derrick Jones Jr. Eye test tells me that stats not too much to be honest. He doesn't seem like a defensive stopper like Derrick Jones Jr., but he does seem like a good 3-and-D player. Um, he has a he shoots the three like incredibly well, 37.6% on 11 3 points, 11 3-pointers a game, insane. 97 percentile block percentage and 87 percentile defensive rebounding. So great pickup. I think he's gonna be great next to Luka as well. I think he's top three athlete in this draft, and he's had some insane dunks too. So yeah, I think he's gonna be great next to Luka. Knicks drafted Sergio De Laria. Probably butchered it. My bad. That was 25. Again, I don't know too much about him. The rest of you guys, I really don't know too much. I'm just gonna speed run it. But 26, the Nuggets got Tyrese Reed Jr., but he actually got traded to the Spurs. So I don't know who the Spurs ended up trading or getting in return. I don't know what they got in return, to be honest. Celtics got Chris Sinak Jr., who I know was a pretty good pickup. People were very excited about that. So that's a good pickup for them. Timberwolves traded or got Joshua Jefferson, but they traded him to Brooklyn, I think. Don't know what they got in return. Oh, I think that's the Julius Randle trade, but I could be wrong on that. Cavs at 29 got Alex Carbon, but I think they traded him to the Kings. And then 30 was Koa Mavericks, but he got traded to the Suns, which is kind of cool because he played for Arizona recently, or he played in Arizona in college, so that was cool. But yeah, that's the first round. Again, I don't have too much in the second round. Like I didn't write anything down in the second round, but that is what happened in the second round or the first round. Again, this draft class probably. I'm interested to see if this draft class is gonna be. I think the top part of this draft class having like four guys basically who could be like future franchise faces raises the ceiling of this draft because I feel like last draft had so many hitters too that people don't talk about but are crazy. And so people say this one is like way better than last or like the best one we had in a while. But I feel like 25 was also really, really crazy. So we'll see. But again, like not to undermine this one. This one was insane. I mean, from 1 to 30, there's like not many misses at all, so elite, elite draft class. I'm excited to watch them hoop. Thank God Summer League is this week. I am beyond excited to watch Cameron Boozer in a Grizzlies uniform, not gonna lie. And other guys too. So excited to watch them hoop Friday, Saturday, and then we have some more games along the week. But yeah, I'm so geeked. I miss basketball. I miss watching my teams hoop. And yeah, I'm excited as fuck. Now to get into the transactions, I'm trying to blaze through these a little bit because it's hot as fuck in my room. I don't want to do this shit. But this is since June 22. This is not all the transactions, just the ones that I find the most important or the most noticeable ones, most noteworthy ones. So yeah, I just wanted to say that before I started. But I don't have the dates for these either. Just kind of it's in chronological order. but I don't have the dates for them. This is just since June 22nd. So OKC sends Aaron Wiggins to the Hawks for 2 second-round picks. Great pickup for them. I think Buddy Hield still plays with the Hawks. If I remember correctly, I think he's still there with them. Not that it matters anyways. That's Aaron Wiggins, not Isaiah Joe. Sorry. I think Aaron Wiggins on the Hawks is awesome. I think he's gonna be very good there under the shot creator. That's kind of like a Nickeil Alexander-Walker kind of esque player. Good to reliable three-way scorer. I think he's gonna be really good with them. They added more firepower, and this is one of those trades that OKC actually lost. They actually had to bring some shit. They actually, lost a pretty core player to their chip run. Next, Trae Young signed for 4 years, $212 million. This was insane to me. When it happened, I was like, what the fuck? And mind you, while this was happening, the whole John thing was going on where, they're saying, hey, your values are at the floor. They're not going to sign a contract extension with you, blah, blah, blah. I think this was crazy that this happened. Not saying that, Trae Young should be viewed as negatively as Ja right now in terms of, their production and stuff like that. But I think it's just, Trae Young getting paid nearly, 50 M's a year? I don't know. Obviously, we'll see how it goes. This is obviously going to be a good Wizards team moving on, so it's great that it happened, but I don't know. I feel like it's a lot. Then we got Randall to the Nets, Claxton to the Bulls, and then Claxton signed for 5 years, $112 million. No, that led to Io getting signed for 5 years, $112 million. That was crazy as fuck to me as well. I think it was good to let go of Randall because I don't think Randall was good for the Timberwolves, anyways, in terms of really trying to up their ceiling. And I think doing that doing it to, lengthen Io's contract was not a fan of that, to be honest. Like I said, I know that they signed Isaiah Evans too, and they traded for another player that I'll speak of as well in a little bit. But I wasn't a fan of it too much. Still not a fan of it, especially knowing that trade that happened went down as well. So it's a weird situation. I think they probably could have gotten better from Randall. Yeah, I'll speak more on the Bulls when I get to the other trade, but yeah, it was weird. Sorry, no. I'll speak more about the trade when I get to the other trade for the Timberwolves. But I think Claxton going to the Bulls was great. I think he's gonna be pretty good there. Again, they're not trying to compete, but they're not trying to be ass. I think they're gonna be perfect to end up back in the lottery next year, or if they can even get back to lottery next year. Because I don't know how the rules work, to be honest. I'm kind of confused on it. But yeah, he's gonna work well. I know he's not the player that he used to be, and the player that is kind of that he's labeled to be. But I think again he'll work well with what they're gonna try to do, and I think you can kind of be happy with it too. Because again, I think the Buzelis, Wilson, and Claxton kind of three-man backcourt or front court is gonna be very kind of hard to guard on, regardless of whether or not the defensive instinct is there. That's just a lot of size to get through, So yeah, Randall to the Nets is cool, I guess. Yeah, nothing too much to say about it, to be honest. Next big trade, the one that we were all waiting for forever. Happy that it finally happened. Giannis and Bobby Portis signed or traded to the Heat for Hero, Kel'el Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Kasparas, 3 first-round picks, 1 first-round pick swap, and 1 second-rounder. When it first happened, I was like, it's not too much, but it is a lot at the same time. And that kind of kept on conflicting in my mind. And now that I read it, when I wrote it down and I read it all the way, that is a lot. When you think about it, I think it's just, you don't think it's too much because the players involved aren't that crazy, but they are young players who have shown promise Again, Hero was just an all-star. Jamie Hawkins Jr. was Six-Man of the Year candidate. Khalil Ware and Kasparas are two good players that you can kind of be excited about with their upside. And then what they got four first round picks and a second rounder. So elite. Good for the Bucks. Obviously leaves them in a good spot to keep on going. Um, and for the Heat, I'm interested to see how it'll work out. I know they signed some more players as well, but the shooting is gonna be dog shit. But hey, man, I think defensively it's like, damn, you're gonna score on Bam and Giannis and Andrew Wiggins. I know he just resigned too. And Andrew Wiggins is gonna give you that half court shot creation as well and shooting. But I think they need a little bit more shooting. But I think let me go through it again to make sure because I think they did actually sign somebody else too. Um, but yeah, great. Again, I think it's a pretty win-win trade. I mean, honestly, I don't see any complaints. I'm glad that it happened as well. So yeah, Reeves, Austin Reeves re-signed with the Lakers, 4 for 185 million. I think there are people who are like, this shouldn't have happened. This is too much for Austin Reeves. I'll be honest, I think he deserved it. I think Austin Reeves, as much as I like to hate on him, and I like to hate on Rob's opinion of him, he genuinely is worth that much. I think there are not many guards in the league who can do what he does in terms of scoring and playmaking, and he is one of the best at it. He's taller. He's a cone on defense, and that's kind of like the restricting or the restriction part of this contract where it's like, hey, he's not going to give you the two-way power that you want in your shooting guard, especially next to Luka Doncic, who's not going to give you the greatest defensive effort either. But I mean, again, like what he gives you offensively is just insane. I think this is like one of the richest contracts to ever go to a player who was undrafted. So that was awesome. Um, then Grizzlies trade for Isaiah Stewart for just 3 second-round picks, which is just insane. Insane. We're talking about a guy who is going to fit our roster and identity immediately. A guy who's going to rebound the ball right next to Edie and Boozer, who already rebound the ball extremely fucking well. Who I think he has one of the highest defensive field goal percentage in the league in terms of like opponent field goal percentage when he's at the rim or contesting at the rim. So, and again, like he's rowdy as fuck. I am kind of scared that it will get to the point where that nigga might go crazy, bro. He might turn into Broly and he might aid on to the Grizzlies rep that that kind of been going on recently or whatever. But I think again he fits perfectly with the team, and I think he's gonna be great. I'm very happy to get him. I think an ED backup was also very necessary. Is he gonna be as impactful as ED? Fuck no. But I think again he's gonna be really really good, and I'm excited to have him on the team. Absolutely great player. Excited to see him play. Um, then the big one that kind of just this one like manifested in less than like 24, 36 hours. And these type of trades are always so crazy to me because they bring it up and then it actually happens like literally the next night after the afternoon after, and to me I love that shit. Not gonna lie, but LaMelo and Josh Green to the Timberwolves for Naz Reid, an unprotected first round pick, 3 first round pick swaps, and 3 second round picks. Um, Now obviously with the Hornets, I mean, people talk about it for a while since then, and even now, I still don't understand why they did what they did. I can only assume, like how other people have said it as well. They simply did not trust Lamelo's health, and they were like, "Listen, we want you to play your ass off this season, and then we'll think about what we're gonna do with you, right? But if you don't play your ass off, we're definitely not going to think about re-signing you to the contract or keeping you on the team." And I guess that fueled Lamelo to play the way that he did, and they sold high on him as the moment they could. And you kind of look around the league as well, like with the other injury-prone players, like Zion Williamson, for example. Zion could have been traded at the trade deadline, and you probably could have netted some 2 to 3 first-round picks for the way that he was playing, especially because he was healthy and he was playing. You could have gotten a decent return. You could have just banked on this. Hey, this is the highest that I've seen you play so far, but I don't trust your health. We're getting you out of here. I'm sorry. And I think it would have been, and I think it would have been the same exact kind of like perspective that you take with this trade, right? Like they just didn't trust his health, and they said, "Hey, we're gonna trade you. We're gonna add up our bank of assets and get you out of here and increase our kind of future assets to compete in the future." Obviously, this is a big kind of like passing of the torch, I guess, to Khan, Diabate, the other younger guys, especially because another trade happened with the Hornets as well. But yeah, but at the same time, it's like it's still just so crazy to me because the lineup of LaMelo, on Brandon Miller, Bridges, and Diabate was like one of the best net rating lineups in the league by a very, very, very wide margin. They were one of the best net rating lineups in the half court, like of all time. So you do kind of like, damn, like that really fucking happened. But it's crazy that it did, honestly. Like it really is crazy that it did happen that they traded him. But I mean, what I would say is that for the Tim, I think again it's a W for the Hornets, major W for the Hornets. Maybe an overpay for LaMelo. On the Timberwolves side, obviously it's a huge, huge huge gamble on LaMelo's health. If he does like with the Timberwolves, I think theoretically though, on paper, what they are gonna do, him and LaMelo, Anthony Edwards and LaMelo, are gonna give you Clay and Steph Curry esque, right? Where they're just lighting you up from the half court or lighting you up from the perimeter. And so I think again, as much as it's a weird ass trade, I think theoretically what's is supposed to happen um warrants the trade. I think again, like if LaMelo can really stay healthy and if he can play the way he's supposed to play, I think this is gonna be a great uh backcourt. What I will say though is that I think at the end of the day with the Timberwolves, as much as I do appreciate Gobert on the defensive end, there and the defensive floor that he gives you is regular season and postseason, one of the highest defensive floors in the league to any team that he goes on, especially this Timberwolves team. There is a hard cap on the offensive side, the ceiling on the offensive side. And so it's hard to win with him because he simply does not impact the offensive game. He's a great screener, and I think that's why it works so well with Anthony Edwards because he has developed into an amazing 3-point shooter. But there's unfortunately a a cap, right, offensively. And so I think at the end of the day, to really get to where they want to be, the finals, and to win a win the chip, they really, really need to find a big who can give them the opposite of what Gobert does, or at least a two-way big whom they can split the minutes with. I think that's all they need. Just find you a big who can give you what Gobert can't give you. Just somebody who can rim run or just give you a post up game or give you a paint post up weaponry in the paint, or to someone with a stretch five even, or again just somebody who's gonna give you offense on the at the fifth slot, right? And I think if this goes as planned, and if they do end up finding a big who can do that with them, then I think this makes the LaMelo trade that much better because then you have a point guard who can actually utilize what they give you from positions 2 to 5 instead of just a backcourt that is just going to heavily rely on kind of just getting them a lot of 3-point buckets and profiting off the gravity that they're going to create. But yeah, that's my take on that trade. Then led to Kobe White getting signed for 3 years, 74 million. Insane, to be honest. Get paid, bro. Might be an overpay, but whatever. OKC sends Isaiah Joe to Detroit for 2 second-round picks. Again, elite pickup for the Pistons. I think more shooting, especially from Isaiah Joe, is gonna be great. Not gonna lie, I might have to put some parlays with some 3-pointers on that motherfucker. Over on the threes on that motherfucker, because he is going to be launching from that team. He's gonna be with a guard who's actually gonna utilize his gravity, and I think Isaiah Joe might have some really good games with this team. I think next to Kevin Huerter as well, because I think he also just re-signed with the Pistons. It's gonna be a really great kind of like 3-4 game or 2-3 game from the shooting. Next to Cade. iHeart resigns with OKC for 5 years, 134 million. Great pickup. Obviously, again, he's one of the most important players on that team. He was really good for the chip run. Centers like iHeart do not grow on trees. The fact that they have another one with a Daymara is insane. And obviously, you kind of are happy for it. If you're a Daymara, you're low key geek as fuck, because now you're like learning from the GOAT. In the GOAT archetype of who you are. Hornets send Bridges to the Suns for Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and 1st-round pick. Crazy return, to be honest. If you're the Hornets, you do that 3 times over, 4 times over, 5 times over. Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. Again, next to Kobe White, next to Brandon Miller, next to Concanoble. Like I was just saying, like, it's fair to say that they are really trying to have this possession battle with their bigs and their forwards, and then just have their guards just completely make it rain on the make it rain, and hopefully they get the rebound back, and hopefully they shoot it again, and hopefully if they miss, they get the rebound back again, and that's just going to be I think the game plan with them, and I feel like this trade solidifies that as the game plan, because those are 2 elite shooters. You know what I mean? Like, elite shooters. Zach LaVine opted in as a player option. Got $49 million for 1 year. Insanity. Draymond Green declined his player option for flexibility, possibly leading to the addition of LeBron James to the Warriors. We don't know this yet, but it is kind of projected that this might happen. We'll see for sure. It would be crazy as fuck. Don't know how to feel about it, but yeah. Andrew Wiggins re-signed with the Heat, 3 years, 64 million. Great pickup. Marcus Smart declines his player options, ends up signing with the Rockets. Kind of sucks. I think he was really good with the Lakers. I think he's gonna fit really good with the Rockets as well. He's gonna give you that Dorian Finney-Smith, what DFS couldn't give them, basically, because he was injured, essentially. But yeah, I think he's going to be really good there. Bradley Beal declined his player option. Still hasn't signed yet. And then the trade that I was waiting for, draws to the Blazers for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. Now, again, kind of want to hurry the fuck up because it's kind of been a long episode. I apologize. But this trade, to me, was insane. Not because I didn't expect it. I just didn't expect that this was a team he was going to go to, because this was one of those teams where I was like, what the fuck? When the Hornets traded LaMelo, I was certain he was going to end up there. I even got a letter at the office at my job that came from South Carolina, literally, or not South Carolina, that came from Charlotte. And I was like, what the fuck? This is fate. Ends up not being traded, so I'm like, they might have to buy him out. Like, this is kind of crazy. And luckily enough, this trade happens. They don't have to buy him out. Honestly, they didn't get 1st-round picks. I think it's still it's a decent trade. I think Jeremy Grant I think Jeremy Grant is probably the Grizzlies' best forward now. The best wing that we have right now that can start. not really an impact guy, but he will give you buckets. Chris Murray, the opposite, not really a bucket guy, but will impact the game in other ways. And then again, just for Ja Morant. So now again, the Trailblazers do have like 4 or 5 guards. Gonna be crazy to see how it works. There was an article that dropped today that kind of just showed or kind of just explained that Nori, the old assistant Timberwolves coach, who got hired to be the Blazers coach for a year, which is kind of crazy. Like he's like on a rental. Um, Kind of like visited Ja. They have a strong connection because they're both from Carolina, I think. And they kind of basically said like, hey, like we want you to be who you were before. We're gonna make sure that you are good with us. I want you to be ready with us. I know you have a lot of guards, but it's even better for us actually. It's a luxury instead of a restriction because we'll be able to make shit shake. Basically, it's gonna be some crazy shit that goes on, and we're gonna cause some confusion is the word that they used. So I think Ja and Dame is like it's a 2K fucking lineup. Like honest to God, it is insane to me. Like I still can't think about it. And when I see them together on the court, like I'm low-key getting geeked right now and I'm low-key getting goosebumps too. I'm not gonna lie because I'll never forget. Again, like I became a Ja fan or an NBA fan as a Ja fan. I entered the NBA stratosphere as a Ja fan, and so I started watching when Ja was his rookie year before the bubble started. So for Ja to be teammates with the guy who took him out of his playoff potential as a rookie, like is crazy as fuck. And that was one of the best games I ever watched of basketball because they were just going at it completely. Like both guys were just fucking insane. So again, awesome as fuck. I think Ja Morant having the vet of Damian Lillard and Drew Holiday is also really good. We finally have a fucking good vet. We have good vets on the fucking team. No diss of KCP. But before KCP, we had nobody on the team worth a damn who would actually give us tips or actually give Ja Morant some good fucking help. Right? Shea had a Chris Paul. Victor Wembanyama had Vic Paul. Victor had Chris Paul. Um, I can't fucking think of more players right now, but there were other players who got great fucking veteran players on the team who are actually impacting the team and being good with their guy. And so it was all I'm super, super excited and happy that Ja finally has some good vets. Damian Lillard, please teach my son how to shoot 40% from three. Drew Holiday, please teach him how to move off ball and teach him how to be a little bit better on the defensive end and teach him how to be fucking durable. Please, bruv. I need this shit, bruv. I need it. I'll probably upload another video on my thoughts on the whole trade a little bit later or tomorrow as well. But yeah, on the TikTok. But anyways, moving on. Julian Champagnie signs 3 years, 45 million. Chef's kiss. Again, one of the most important players in that playoff run. I think he fits exactly with what they need. He is their 3-point rate guy, so I'm very happy. Very good steal, very good contract. Kevin Herter signs 3 years, 27 million. I don't think it's an overpay. I think it works. That works for them. Tingus Pingus signs 2 years, 40 million. Kind of crazy considering how many games he's played, but I mean we'll see how that matches up. I don't know. That might hurt the team more than help it, but we'll see. Robin Williams, 3 years, 44 million. Very happy the Trailblazers re-signed him because we need that other big who can catch lobs. I know he's a monster defensively as well, so that's all super cool. Jock Landale signed 1 year, 14 million. I included him because that was an insane number, not gonna lie. I get it though. I mean, he's impact, maybe not the best, but he's a guy who's gonna give you his all every single night. He's gonna stand up for his boys, and he's just a cool dude. I think 14 million, it might be a little bit too much, but I think as a rotational big in the league who's gonna give you some decent rebounding games, I think it works out. And he's also low key a stretch five. Like he can shoot that bitch, not gonna lie. Takes a while to load that bitch up, but he's gonna shoot it. Clippers, this is also a big trade that I can't believe that it happened because I'm like I didn't think it would happen, but like I also did think it would happen. This is a weird trade. Like it's crazy as fuck, but it's weird. But Clippers sent Kawhi to the Raptors for Ingram, Grady Dick, 2 first-round picks, one pick swap for the first round, and 2 second rounders. Again, I mean, that's elite for the Raptors, to be honest. I think it puts them in a much better spot than what they were last year. I think, honestly, I mean, they might, I don't want to say favorites out of the East, but I think they're going to be up there for sure. Like, they'll be top four, top five, I think. Like, easily. Easily. Especially a healthy Kawhi with that team. Like, even if Kawhi is not going to be the defensive player that he once was. Like he's not a cone on defense. He's not even a neutral defender player. Like he's a plus defensive player next to RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quigley, Chris Murray Boyles. Like those are that's a very good starting lineup and very good, Scotty Barnes obviously too. Like that's insane. Like Scotty Barnes, CMB, Kawhi Leonard just doesn't even sound real. Like I would hate to play against them motherfuckers. Um Clippers. I mean, they got good shit from it too. I think I don't think it's a bad trade at all for both sides. Um, Tim Hardaway signed with the Heat. Luke Kennard signs with the Suns, 2 for 13 million. Dean Wade signs 4 million or 4 years, 39 million with 76ers. I did not expect that to happen at all. I did not think that was gonna happen. Still kind of dumbfounded by it, but it is actually pretty cool to be honest. I mean, 76ers got a good guy. Like he's elite. Uh, John Collins, 3 years, 51 million with the Pistons, elite. I think that's. I would say I would look at that and say, hey, this guy isn't as athletic as he used to be, but he's an elite play finisher, and he's kind of gonna give you like a beef stew substitute, especially now that the Grizzlies have beef stew. But what I'm worried about is that Jalen Duren doesn't resign, and that might be like their starting five, which would not be the best. Uh, Mike Conley to Celtics, that was pretty cool, unexpected but pretty cool. Then big trades today. Kessler traded to Lakers for 2 first round picks and 2 first round swaps. Then signed to 4 years, 130 million. I don't think the contract is bad. I think giving up 4 first round picks for Walker Kessler is a bit too fucking much. Now the Lakers don't have any 1st round picks for the next 7 years, which is fucking insane as fuck. Um, I don't even think Walker Kessler is a player whom you should give up that much for because I don't think he fits with Luka the best way. I think he is a good lob threat. He is great defend. He is a great rim protector. He is a great rebounder, but it's not in the way that a Derek Lively kind of five would give you, right? Like I think a Jalen Duren would have been way better than Walker Kessler, to be honest. I think if Duren went to the Lakers, he would have been elite there next to Luka. Crazy trade. And then after that, the bowling pins went down with the Lakers. Sandro, I don't know his first name, signed with the Lakers 4 years, 52 million. I mean, that's a great pickup to be honest. Might be a little bit too much overpay, but whatever. Quentin Grimes, 4 years, 60 million. Kind of. I mean, we're not mad at it to be honest. Sexton, 2 years, 19 million. Like those are all pretty like mid to good pickups that I think raise the floor of the team for sure. Um, and you already have a pretty high floor because Luka's on the team and he gives you that playoff opportunity immediately. But like I think this is a good pivot now that LeBron's money's off the books kind of thing, right? And I think they have some guys who are gonna not they're not gonna be bad players. I think they're good additions, but they're not extremely they're not players who are gonna like give you that chance to get the chip. They make it a little bit more competent, but that's really it. I think Grimes would be good with that team. Um, yeah. Next, Oubre to Pacers, 2 years, 17 million. I think he's gonna be good there. To be honest, that's great for them. And yeah, that's really it. That's all that happened so far. Another huge one that we're waiting for is a Duran one, like I said. I've read that Dern was like, "Hey, I don't want to sign. Like, I want the max, basically." And the Pistons aren't giving him the max, and because of that, he went to the Kings, which is like insane to me because we always talk about players don't who play for money, then players who play for accolades, and then players who play for like legacy. I never thought Durant would be the type of player to play for money. I thought he would be trying to win this shit, especially next to K too. I mean, I thought they'd be trying to win this shit to win this shit. You know what I mean? So again, maybe it's not true. Maybe that report wasn't true. I don't want to act like it is true, but I think it was crazy that report came out because it would be kind of nuts if that is what ends up happening. Um, yeah, and then Braun currently right now looking for where to see where Braun goes. Might go to the Warriors. I don't really have an explanation or not explanation prediction of where he goes. I think it would be cool. I think Warriors would be cool because I think him next to Braun. I mean, him next to Curry would just be like I don't know. Like you can say what you want, but I think that'd be fucking elite. Like not even from like a fun perspective, but just like I think that would be like a good duo like in the league. Like that would like they would genuinely be good. Like I can't imagine the pick and rolls situation with him um and Curry. And I think I mean Anthony Melton also played it's also signed with them again or re-signed. I think he's a great shooter. You know, there's a lot of weapons on that team that LeBron's mind can utilize. And I think him and Curry teaming up would just be like again, like it's weird for the legacy, like that ass for 100,000% sure. It's weird for the legacy, but it would be dope. It would be dope. Um, but yeah, that's it for today's episode of Eyes on the Ball. I was yapping a lot. This is gonna be a longer episode than the last few episodes. I'll try to get this edited and submitted and uploaded by tonight. Um, and I'm gonna work on that immediately. So yeah. If you like today's episode, please like, comment, subscribe. Really much appreciated if you do. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.